All right. All right, we'll get started in a bit here. Hello there. Hello, Mo Blaze. Welcome to the live stream or the live podcast. Sorry, this is what this is mainly is. we'll just give we'll just give a couple people some time, a couple more minutes here, and we'll go ahead and get started. Oh, for those of you who are in the comment boards right now, is the audio coming through okay? Can you hear me clearly? All right. Get started here in a bit. Just waiting to hear you guys comment back. Here in a bit. Okay, here we go. All right. Well, hello, no. Hello, LPX community, and welcome to another episode of the LPX podcast. And those of you who are joining live right now on the YouTube channel, thank you for stopping by. Appreciate you joining me in the live chat here. And for those of you who are watching the post video or the post audio clip, thank you for tuning in. This episode, this is number 2, so welcome to the second episode. And this is going to be a little bit different from my first one. The first one, really, I was just doing a free range, just kind of going and left ad-libbing here and there mostly. But this week is going to be a little bit different. I plan on talking for about almost 2 hours today. And today's plan is I've gotten some news articles that I've looked up for the last 2 weeks that I found really relevant, not only to technology, but also some in the entertainment world and stuff. And I'd like to discuss some of them with you guys, and maybe you guys have looked over these throughout the last 2 weeks and just kind of discuss what my thoughts are on some of these articles and stuff. And the second part would be actually me going over questions and topics submitted by commenters on the comment boards, as well as through Twitter at hashtag LPS podcast. And so I'll be discussing those topics as well. And the last hour, half an hour to an hour or so, I plan on doing a live Q&A. So for those joining in on the live broadcast, on the live feed, can ask questions on the comment boards. I'd be more than happy to answer them, as well as through the Twitter feeds as well. So that may go longer or shorter, so we'll go from there. But without further ado, let's go ahead and dive right into the very first news topic that's been pretty much saturating the market for the last, I don't know, pretty much the last 2 weeks. The main topic, all the news channels, all the finance channels and everything, everyone's been talking about the Apple Watch. And I think a lot of you knew this was going to come up, but the Apple Watch is a craze. It's going nuts. There's videos and articles, like literally when I was going through CNET, Verge, and IGN, it was literally just Apple Watch, Apple Watch, Apple Watch, Apple Watch. So, I mean, you can't get enough of it these days. So, I just want to give my quick 2 sentences on it. So, for those of you who actually watched my first podcast or my live reactions and my review of the Apple Watch, you know that I'm not too much of a big fan. And I'm going to come out in the gates right and say it though. For those of you who have iPhones and anyone who asks you which watch they should get, the first question you should ask is, what phone do they have? Because if they have an iPhone, I automatically just say, get the Apple Watch. Because for me, the Pebble really doesn't do justice as a smartwatch for Apple users. And now they finally have a viable smartwatch that they can use and pretty much integrate into their lives. So for me, I say get it. But when you go ahead and ask an Android user, it's pretty much out of the picture. So when people say what's the better smartwatch, it's really, I play the middleman, because you gotta look at it from both ways. You gotta first ask, which device do you have? And for me, Android definitely offers more variety. You have a far more range of products that you can choose from than obviously the one Apple Watch. And on top of the Android Wear market, you also have Samsung in the range too, because Samsung is pretty much the number one smartphone seller in the Android segment, and they've made their own proprietary watches for their phones, and pretty much like the Gear S, and that's the one I use. And so going back to the Apple Watch, it's not people pretty much like I made a commercial on this this past week about making a T-shirt. It's not an Apple Watch. I made a T-shirt on that, and I made that T-shirt because I have been, ever since they announced the Apple Watch officially, saying that it's going to be released next month, I have been getting hounded with questions nonstop about whether my Samsung Gear S was a smartwatch. And I at first I just sort of giggled because I'm like, these people all see the commercials. They've gone online to the Apple website and seen the watch. They've gone to the Apple Store and they've played around with the watch. Yet when they see another smartwatch out there, they automatically assume that it's an Apple Watch because they, in their minds, believe that it is solely the only smartwatch out there because they believe that Apple is the first innovator. And even though the last 2 years there's been a flood of smartwatches coming out, 2/3 of the market roughly are iPhone users. So you got to give them respect that they own the majority of the market. But the what is it called? These people are just so oblivious. Not all iPhone users are, but the majority of them pretty much refuse to see past the Apple veil, the curtain that they've pretty much been behind this whole time, because they can't see past Apple because they believe that Apple is the most innovative company in the world. And they used to be. I mean, I've gone over this topic numerous times. They used to be. But this Apple Watch is a prime example of how they're not anymore. They're coming out with the smartwatch 2 years after the fact. And a lot of you can argue, and will argue, it's a valid argument point, that they waited the 2 years because they wanted to see how the market would react to just smartwatches being released by Android and Samsung, and develop a proper product before releasing it to market. Valid argument. But looking at their first attempt at the watch, I was slightly disappointed with them. Because for me, I was like with the Gear S and everything, like, curved displays, standalone functions, internet browsers, etc., etc. I was like, man, Apple really has the arsenal to make a kick-ass watch. But then they came out with this. It's a very plain design. Interface is there. I mean, interface is fine. You got a lot of app supports. That's fine. But a lot of the hardware and functionality that can work with a lot of the hardware isn't there. I'm actually really surprised that they didn't add a standalone function for the Apple Watch. I'm actually really shocked at that. And in the design, too. I thought they would go with the curved display. Pretty much show off the curved display on their watch. And then for the iPhone 7... release a curved display for the 7 to show off that they can be, they can have sleek designs more than Samsung, but they didn't. And I don't know. I'm pretty sure that I'm not the only one that was disappointed with the Apple Watch. Even my coworker at work, he's an avid Apple user, but he's saying that he won't get the Apple Watch this time around because he wants to wait for the next one because he was disappointed with the design. And honestly, he was almost considering coming over to Android because he's pretty much getting tired of their shenanigans these days. The MacBook is a whole nother story, but sorry. But seriously though, I've gone over this topic numerous times, but pretty much the Apple Watch, people argue with me that both Android Wear and Apple are going to offer a lot more apps than Samsung does. But then I flip it around to them because I've used Android Wear and I've used a ton of apps that came on the market and everything. But after pretty much 2 years of being a smartwatch user, those apps are utterly useless. Like a majority of them. And I say that because the watch isn't a replacement for your phone. It's not there yet. Because you're used to, when you're browsing the internet, you're playing games, watching videos, doing media stuff, gathering information, you want to do it on a relatively good sized screen where you can read it. Like doing it on the watch, it's tedious. And once the activity becomes tedious, you just don't want to do it. Like the Gear S, yes, I can browse internet, watch videos, and do all that stuff, but I find myself not doing it because it's annoying too. For the big stuff that you want to do, you have a perfectly good phone in your pocket to use it with, so you use it. The watch I see as more of an extension of the phone, and pretty much that's what Apple has pretty much done well. It's a perfect companion device. You can get your notifications and everything, but when people bring up to me the argument of, it beats Samsung because it's got more apps. No, because I'm going to guarantee you that the majority of you who either own a current smartwatch or will be getting a smartwatch over time will not be using a lot of these apps. Like things like, holding your rewards cards, tip calculators and that kind of stuff. And even Facebook and Twitter being able to respond to those are obviously useful, but things like browsing the internet and stuff, it just doesn't work. The screen's too small. I'll put it this way. Like, because back in the day when they started allowing internet browsing on the flip phones, it was annoying because the screen was very limiting. You had to zoom in and out, and it just wasn't meant for that device. And it feels that way with the smartwatches. And I don't know. I don't want to linger too much on this topic too much longer, but I would want to see them improve upon the functionalities more. Pretty much getting the gestures right, getting the notifications right. Like, I had to test it out for myself. Thankfully, my manager, she's actually getting an Apple Watch, so she's gonna go ahead and let me play around with it when she gets it next week. So I'll be able to give a proper review on it. But just from like their announcement, I was disappointed with the design and the lack of a standalone function. I think a lot of people were. Because I'm still sticking with my Samsung Gear S because the fact that I can leave my phone at home comfortably and walk away and still get my phone calls, my text messages, and emails, that's just very convenient for me. And yes, the new Android Wear update that came out will allow now Android Wear devices to connect to the Wi-Fi automatically, but it's still not a standalone mode where you can comfortably walk away from your phone and then still get your data, still get your messages and your notifications, because without Wi-Fi, you're not connected remotely to your device. And that's where the use of the 4G and the 3G data plans will come in. So we'll go ahead and put that down. But that's enough. But if you guys have any more questions about the Apple Watch or anything, or what my thoughts on it, just please go ahead and feel free to comment or send me a message, or send it at hashtag LPX podcast. But we'll see. I mean, everyone knew it was going to sell out. I knew it was going to sell out. No matter what I say or a lot of other people say, iPhone owners needed a watch, and they finally got it. So it's no surprise that they came out. I'll put it this way: a part of me is very happy that they finally released the watch, though, because now that they're in the market, people are now recognizing that smartwatches are here. I mean, they kind of knew that they existed, but ever since now the Apple Watch has come out, now everybody is all of a sudden an expert on smartwatches. Because for the last 2 years or so, and when everyone looked at my Gear S, they would just be like, what is that? Is that a watch, or is that, like, they would ask me these silly questions, and a lot of them their minds would be blown. But now, as soon as the Apple Watch gets announced, everyone's all of a sudden an expert. They're like, is that the Apple Watch? Or can it do that? Can it do that? Like, they kind of know what they're talking about. So, yes, I'm annoyed at their questions being wrong. But at the same time, I'm just glad that they're out and pushing the market forward. And now Google's getting, stepping their game up, and hopefully Samsung will step up their game as well, too. So, fingers crossed, guys. All right, so what else is in the news today? So I was able to find a couple diamonds in the rough in the news feeds, but one thing I want to talk about here is actually Google Glass. And I know a lot of you may have forgotten about that. And it's rightfully so, because, sorry, I'm going to get a drink here. It's rightfully so that you may have forgotten about it, because when they first came out, $1,500 for a pair of pretty much no lens glasses with a little screen on the side was a little ridiculous. And even though a lot of people got it and a lot of app developers got it, it just never took off because they weren't able to pretty much make it really integrate. They couldn't really integrate it comfortably into a daily life. I mean, their promotional videos was cool and everything, but it was just not practical. And even the market was definitely not ready for it, because even when I walked around the city in New York City when I visited up there, when I personally saw someone with a Google Glass, even in my mind, I was like, at first I was like, that's so cool, and then but deeper inside, I was like, man, that's a little bit pompous and stuff. It just it didn't chime well with people, and I love the fact that whenever anyone saw a pair of Google Glasses, they'd just be like, "Are you taking a picture of me? Are you recording me?" Like they were worried about their privacy from Google Glass. Like it was. I just found it a little ridiculous, but one thing though is I did have the opportunity to actually use Google Glass for about a week. I was volunteering for a team at my company who was playing around with a pair of Google Glasses, and the team leader pretty much allowed me to borrow it for a week to kind of give my two thoughts on it, my 2 cents on it. And so I was one of those people, and I wore it for a week straight, even while driving and walking around and everything, and just see how useful it was at first, and number two is just see how people would react to it, and being on the receiving end of it, I gotta tell you right now, I'm glad I don't have it anymore, just because people did not have nice comments for me when I had it. I mean, I pretty much heard like backhand comments when I was just walking around, like people whispering back, "Yo, dude, look, that kid must be like some like stupid nerd or something." I don't know, but it was just not well received, and I just loved when I went to like restaurants or like fast food joints, and the girls behind the counters would just be like, "Oh, can you not take a picture of me?" I'm like, "I wasn't. I'm ordering food," but it was just a weird social stigma out there about it. And when it comes down to the actual functionality of it, I definitely didn't find it useful. It was very annoying to very annoying to use. Pretty much like, I mean, yes, like you can bringing up the menus, taking pictures and videos was pretty simple, but there weren't a lot of apps out there, a lot of useful apps. Like, pretty much I had a thought in my mind of how the Google Glasses would be, but they ended up not being anything remotely close to that. And I think that's what the majority of the market was like, because when Google first announced it, they were pretty much saying like, they were like, welcome to the future, and this is what augmented reality is going to be like in the future. And they pretty much brought this like promotions and stuff, and people were excited. They're like, all right, like they imagined like guided like navigation, being able to talk with people face to face, live stream, like all this cool stuff, and none of it came to fruition. And I think that's what happened, but I'm glad that they did it. That's the one thing you gotta give Google props for really pushing the envelope and bringing out Google Glass like that, because they're looking towards the future. Obviously they weren't going to come out with a retail version within the next few years and stuff. Like this technology is far from retail integration quite. It really is. It's really far from it, because a proper augmented reality, in my opinion, is your glasses. That's it. No other peripherals, no other extra doodads and everything. Like, you can simply just put on a pair of glasses, and that's all you need, and you'll be able to get your information, data scans, videos, photos, emails, and whatnot right off of the bat. That's proper integration. Even better than that, for people who don't wear glasses, so frameless, so the lensless frames, so you just wear the frames and be able to digitally project it right in front of you without damaging eyes and everything. So that's going down the future, but this technology, like all this stuff I'm talking about right now, is not impossible. It's actually quite doable, but if they were to release it right now, you would have to pay like $20,000, $40,000 for a pair of these. So obviously no one's ready for it. But they're taking a step in the right direction. And in the news article, sorry, I completely overlooked it, but pretty much the CEO of Google is saying that they're going to come out with a new version of the Google Glass. So hopefully when they actually officially announce it and bring it out, they would have made major improvements to the display and the screen, and pretty much the voice commands and the touch functionality. Oh, by the way, welcome gaming with Speedy number 2. Thank you. And for those of you in the live chat, please, I welcome you guys to comment as I speak too, because I would love to react to your comments as well. But guys, definitely look out for augmented reality to start taking off sooner or later, because right now the gaming market, it's all about virtual reality and the HTC Vive, the Gear VR, and yet the new Oculus Rift coming out in the fall. But definitely don't count out augmented reality quite yet, because that's a whole different dimension of pretty much just daily life integration and video gaming as well too. There's a whole nother realm, because virtual reality and augmented reality, I don't see them as competitors. They are two different products. Sorry, they're two different. Sorry, they're two different sets of minds tackling two different problems. And if you don't get that, it's pretty much, think about this: one's enhancing or pretty much improving on daily life when you're walking around, pretty much embedded in reality. In the virtual space, though, it can be pretty much anything you want it to be. Pretty much your imagination dictates virtual reality, and your imagination plus reality dictates augmented reality. That's probably not the best metaphor, but that's the best one I can come up with right now. All right, let's move on here though. All right, so I pretty much looked at this news title by the from CNET once again, and it's it said here, for Microsoft, catching the future is an uphill battle. Yes, I actually completely agree with this statement, because don't get me wrong, I love Microsoft, but a lot of the decisions that they made over the past few years either have been very questionable or has come back to really blow up in their faces. Sorry, I didn't have another drink there, but yeah, it's quite. I mean, let's just start it off. I mean, look at Windows 8. That thing was a complete failure. Oh wait, Christian Ramos. Oh, welcome, dude. Welcome. But when Windows 8 came out, that was a huge flop for them, because instead of doing a gradual change, they just went for the out with the old, in with the new. And they pretty much expected everyone to adopt it, because they're like, ooh, flashy, flashy, shiny, shiny. No, what happened? Everyone went back to Windows 7, because Windows 7 was a solid platform. I still use Windows 7 Ultimate. And they were like, all right, well, we'll give you back the start button, sort of, and give you Windows 8.1. It wasn't even a start button. They just brought back the desktop and just gave you a way to access the tiles separately. It was just a very bad effort on their end. I'm sorry, excuse me. You know, pretty much they brought a Windows 8 would have been perfect if they left it alone as like a tablet interface, because that's what it works best as. But you know, we were disappointed with that. And on top of that, with Xbox One too, they made a huge mistake with that, because I feel like they got way too arrogant with that system. I don't know if a lot of you agree with that statement, but when they first announced it, and then they were like, well, the future is internet and streaming gaming, so no more used games, because you're gonna have to no more used games, because you have to verify your gameplay by being online the entire time. So they're forcing you to connect your Xbox One to the internet, and they're pretty much disallowing for people to trade in games and pretty much sell it on the secondary market. So they pretty much like halted all secondary trading and physical media. Essentially, they stopped it with that statement. And on top of that, they forced the Microsoft Connect on you too. So they're like, you're gonna have to pay an extra $100 more, because the camera is necessary. It is a requirement for you to have to play the Xbox One. And on top of that, they weren't hiding the fact that they would have free access to turn on the camera and pretty much spy on you and see what you had to do, because that's what pretty much staying online the entire time means to these systems. And then they decided to focus on becoming the all-in-one entertainment system and everything. And on top of that, they were going to force people to charge, you know, you already paid for Netflix. When you have Netflix, they were going to force you to buy their Xbox Live Premium membership in order to get Netflix. So essentially, they were charging you twice in order to stream Netflix simply on the system. that doesn't rub right with a lot of people. Like, I'll put it this way. I went from the PS2 to the Xbox 360, and I stuck with the Xbox 360 for a long time, and I eventually picked up the PS3 so I can play Metal Gear Solid 4, but I loved the 360. Like, yes, it had its own world of problems, but the online play was really good and everything, and I loved what Microsoft did and how much they improved it. And then they come out with the Xbox One like that, and I mean, pretty much for those of you who watched the E3 press conference, that explained it all. Because when Sony came out and was like, we're $100 cheaper, camera's optional, you don't have to be online, and you can go ahead and sell used games and whatnot. And they just came out and blatantly countered everything that Microsoft said. And look at the sales now. Like, a lot of my game retailer friends pretty much tell me, like, PS4s will sell almost within a few days. They get it and they'll be out the door. Xbox Ones, they just sit there. I mean, how times have changed. Because when the Xbox One came out, like when it first came out, I was still seeing those systems in stores. I mean, let's look back 6-7 years ago when the Xbox 360 came out. You couldn't get it for over a year. Like, when it first came out, you had to go on eBay and pay like triple the amount of the original price just to get one. Because the demand was there. And now with the Xbox One, like, people, they're behind now. They are far behind Sony. And that's actually another topic I'm going to dive into later because a commenter suggested I talk about it. But, I mean, that's just one of the mistakes that they made. I mean, they've made some bad purchases, doing a lot of merge deals and everything. Their Windows Phone has been a flop because I believe their marketing department has been very horrible. They banked on selling the Microsoft Surface, and that ended up, I mean, I guess that bolstered their sales a little bit, but they're still very far behind. And now, I mean, if you look at the current market right now and you look at Microsoft's products, it just doesn't fit. Now, with the upcoming press event in I believe June or July, they're gonna be announcing their Windows 10 platform. So pretty much they're saying that Windows 10 is gonna go back to its roots. So it's gonna be like Windows 7 on crack or on steroids with a little bit of elements of Windows 8. So it's like a fusion of 7 and 8. So I'm interested in seeing how they're gonna implement that. So the rumor mill is obviously the proper start menu is coming back. A lot of the features and functionality of Windows 7 that people grew to love is coming back with it. And I'll get to that question in a second. And on top of that, they're getting rid of a lot of the background processes so the system can run smoother. So we'll see what they do with that, because I'm still rooting for Microsoft. I want them to come back because, like, they pretty much this way, like, if they go, like, that's just sad. Like, they have all the resources in the world to pretty much develop some cool stuff, and for me to see them fail like that, like, that's just sad. So Microsoft, win me back. Like, I want you to win me back. So let's go here. So Gaming with Speedy 2 just commented, do you prefer Apple iPads or Samsung tablets? Okay, so first off, I don't actually use tablets. I kind of find them useless. I have, like, that's the reason why I got a Note 4. I got a phablet phone because that way I don't need to carry around two devices, because I get everything I need out of, like, I get pretty much everything I need from a tablet on my Note 4, and it's a comfortable size for me to use. But if I were to choose, I would still choose Samsung tablet. Like, I do admit the Apple iPads look gorgeous. They're pretty. They feel good. But for me, they're overpriced. And I don't like the ecosystem, like being in the Apple ecosystem. I was in it before. I actually did own the first iPad when it first came out. I had the 3GS. I had the 3S, and the 4 and the 4S. So I was an Apple user for a while. And I left them because the lack of freedom I had with the devices. Yes, I know you could jailbreak it and do all that stuff, but out of the box, it wasn't customizable. I want to be able to freely do whatever media I want, put whatever content I want on my devices, and have it be customizable. Like widgets. You can say that's stupid, but I like widgets. I like being able to have a customized screen, and doing whatever I want on it. And like when it comes down to like watching movies on it and everything, I mean both are good. I mean, people are like Retina screen. It's just a name. It's like Samsung's OLED. It's just it's just different word for the same technology, and they all have 1080p resolution. Looks clear, but it really depends on you. Because pretty much put it this way, well, one thing that the Apple iPads don't have is the S Pen. Pretty much what I like about the Samsung tablets is the pen is just not a gimmick. It has a lot of functionality to the device. Like not just from like navigation and usage, but when you're editing, doing artwork and stuff, or media and everything, like it's just like for me, like it offers more than the Apple does. But the Apple iPad, the advantage it has, it's easy to use. Anyone can pick it up and get using it and start using it. So I mean, it pretty much depends on you. Like I would personally get the Samsung tablet, but I mean that's just me. I mean, but I do have respect for the Apple iPad. Like I'll put it this way: if someone offered me it, I wouldn't decline it. I would gladly take one. All right. But in other news, LG Watch Urban is rolling out this week. So LG has finally announced their Urban Watch, and it's going to be launching around the world. So a lot of people have been asking me questions about that. It's finally coming out, and I gotta admit, guys, it looks pretty. It really does. I think I still prefer the LG G Watch art design because I'm more of a fan of the chronograph designs, more like, because this is really luxury looking, and I'm gonna be really wondering how much they're gonna charge for this. But the phone looks good. Sorry, the watch looks good, and it's coming out with the latest Android Wear OS. So it's not the old one that I absolutely hated. It's the brand new one. So I'm looking forward to it. I mean, it says here that it's going to be released in a lot of markets. It's a 1.3 OLED screen, so it's a round display again, and I look forward to it. Like I wouldn't mind trying it out and everything too. So if I get my hands on one, guys, don't worry. I'll definitely let you guys know. But for me, guys, like I said in my other reviews, I still personally prefer the non-rounded designs. For me, it's that watch appeals to those who don't want to give up the look of a regular watch, but want the functionality of a smartwatch. That's fine for you. But for me, if you're using brand new tech, it shouldn't look like the old tech. Do you know what I'm saying? Like when you bought the smartphone, it's a brand new thing. Like, would you guys have preferred if the iPhone came out as a flip phone instead? I think not, because you want to push the design, you want to push the look of it to make it look futuristic. Like when people looked at my Gear S, they're like, "What is that?" They in their mind, the first words weren't, "That's a cool watch." No, their first words are, "What is that?" Because they haven't seen it before. They haven't seen that design. They haven't seen a rounded screen, flat screen on a wrist before. So, I mean, that's just my personal opinion. I mean, would I want to try it out still? Heck yeah, because I've been waiting for Android to improve their OS to try to win me back. Because for about a year and a half now, I've been with Samsung. Like I've gone back and forth, and I've kept Samsung on top of the list because yes, lack of apps is there. Lack of app support is there, but functionality, ease of use, and the OS, I preferred the Tizen because it was like I just said, it was easy to use, and it was very, for me, it was very smooth. But now that they they got rid of a lot of the tedious stuff from the Android Wear platform, I'm definitely gonna try that out. So let's just go ahead and move on here. Oh, I just got a question asked. So Christian Ramos, so I just got a comment here saying I used to have an iPhone iPad. So he had pretty much had an iPhone and an iPad, and then he used a Note 1. I mean, pretty much that just says it right there. Why would you want to carry around two devices when you can just go ahead and get one device and do it? Yes, iPhone users, you have the iPhone 6 Plus. And that's fine. But that's still not the functioning of a tablet. It's just a bigger iPhone 6. Samsung, when they released the Note 1, it was a phablet. They created this segment. They created the phablet segment. Yeah, they had the Samsung Mega, but no. They integrated the pen function into it right off the gate, and year over year, they just kept making more and more improvements to it, to the point where this pen, for me, I can't go without it. I just reviewed the Samsung Galaxy S6 Edge, and I still want to hold on to my Note 4 because I love the screen size and I love the functionality I get out of this. Because of this phone, I don't ever need to buy a tablet, in my opinion. I just don't need one. Between my desktop at home and my phone, I don't need a laptop. I don't need a tablet. So it saves me money, in my opinion. And plus, too, watching movies and playing games on this screen size is awesome. All right, let's move on to here. Let's see. Oh, I thought this was an interesting topic. Google now lets you download your search history. This came out on April 20th, and I'm not sure if a lot of you heard about that, but I found that to be kind of cool and kind of creepy because for those of you who are oblivious, when you use Google, you're already accepting their user terms and stuff, but they pretty much collect everything on you. Whatever you do on that web browser, they know exactly what you typed, where you looked, where you clicked, what you bought, what your household searched. And what's creepy is they know a lot about you more than you think. For my MBA courses, I studied search analytics and pretty much all the data mining and stuff. And I dove into Google just a little bit, and it's scary on how much information that they have on you. Simply letting you download your search history, that's just the tip of the iceberg. I just want to let you guys know that. But for me, I think that's kind of interesting because you can just look back and see what you searched for. You may find things that you don't like. You may find things that are interesting. You may also find things that other people may have been searching too. So I kind of like that. And that's nice of them to do that, because in the wake of the whole NSA thing and privacy issues, the fact that they're letting people do that and even deleting it, and it's going to be deleted from their servers, I find that very interesting. And, you can kind of bet that they're backing everything up anyway, but, search, pretty much put it this way, search history is no longer the data that they need. I'll put it that way. They've learned what they could from search, and they've moved on to bigger and scarier things. I could talk about that for hours, but that's a whole nother topic I could have with you guys. But I found that interesting. So let's go back to LG here, and apparently their G4 is going to come out next week. So that's cool. And what's cool is I just reading the first tagline here. They're saying that they're going to offer free screen replacement and a free 64 gigabyte memory card if they buy it before the end of May. So they're really trying to push the new flagship phone. And I kind of feel like the G3 just came out not too long ago. I mean, I guess sales weren't doing so well, but the G3 was a solid phone, folks. It felt good in the hand. I personally like LG's way of doing buttons compared to the Samsung side buttons. I kind of liked it because I tested the G Flex when that came out, and I kind of liked it. But let's see what it's saying here. So so you're getting a 16 megapixel camera, 5.5 inch screen, so quad HD, so it's comparable to the Samsung Note 4. You get a brighter screen. You get a 2.5 gigahertz Snapdragon, and then you get a base 16 or 32. And that's not bad. Okay, so I mean, it's a natural upgrade over the G3. So I mean, the fact that they're not distinguishing phone sizes, like the S6 and then the Note 4, that's a little weird. So that's interesting, folks. So we're gonna just let that slide. So I apologize if I am kind of going all around. I'm still trying to find my groove in these podcasts. So hopefully I'll get better over time. Here, another question here. Christian Ramos asked again. Just want to ask how immersive the Gear VR comparing to the other VR devices. All right, well let's go. Yeah, let's talk about that for a bit. So for those of you who are interested in virtual reality, oh, sorry, I just paused there. I'll put it this way: the Gear VR. When I rank the VR devices, I'll put it this way: PC based, console based, like the game devices, cell phone based, which is the Gear VR, and the Google Cardboard. I would rank the Google Cardboard last, absolutely dead last, because the Google Cardboard is just more of a gimmick. It's more of a teaser. It's like a trailer for a movie. It's just the basic. You just get the tip of the iceberg, and the Gear VR takes it a significant step beyond that, because it has full integration of the motion tracking. The visual is much bigger. You have bigger lenses. You have a bigger widescreen view, and you definitely, yes, it's not a full panoramic view, but you definitely feel when you're looking at the images that you're there, that it's right there. And a lot of the games and a lot of the experience videos that I played was definitely there. But when you talk about full integrative experience, the Oculus Rift and the HTC Vive, that category, the PC-based and console category, and Project Morpheus, that's taking it a step further. Because not only are they... Because the Samsung Gear VR, it's limited to your head movement, and that's it. And to move around, you need the use of a game controller. But the Oculus Rift currently has motion tracking, so you can go ahead and lean forward, lean side to side, look over, look under objects, because it's tracking your movements. So I did a video on that before where I looked in front of a statue and I was looking around it. I was actually ducking down, looking up onto the statue and everything. And that was just weird, because like that extra level of dimension, just the immersiveness in that. And I'm going to tell you guys right now, the horror games is like exponentially scarier on these devices, because watching a haunted movie is one thing, but then being in the middle of it, where you're literally sitting there and looking around and looking at hell unfold in front of your face, you will have nightmares. I definitely did. But the one above the Oculus Rift right now, currently, the DK2, they haven't announced the retail version for the Christmas holidays, but the HTC Vive is taking that immersiveness even further by literally transforming your room into a virtual environment, like the Star Trek holodeck. So the way that works is you're going to be setting up two laser sensors in two corners of the room, and then they're going to detect your glass. They're going to measure the space out. They're going to detect where you are, and it literally generates the 3D space around you. So you can literally walk around the room, and it knows that there's objects there, and it's going to create a virtual space where you interact in a virtual room. That is insane. I mean, the Oculus Rift has the Omni Rift, which is a walking and running platform that literally lets you play Battlefield, and you're in it. You are literally running, strafing, and ducking and stuff. Like, that's one thing, but these two companies are literally pushing this technology further, and I can't wait to see where they take it. Victor Moreno, welcome to the live podcast. Now let's see here. How to feel about the new ASUS? Please clarify that. Oh, how do I feel about the new Galaxy Edge? Well, I did a lengthy review on that, but long story short, guys, I love it. It's an awesome phone. If I was deciding between that, the new HTC M8, the new Huawei, I would pick the Samsung. And it's not because I'm a Samsung lover. Don't get me wrong, folks. Like I said before, I don't have a favorite company. I follow companies that innovate. I don't focus on the little gimmicks like metal back or better camera. No, I focus on the companies that actually do meaningful upgrades to a lot of their things. So even adding a simple curved display, it would be stupid if they did nothing to it. If it was simply just for visual appeal, I would not like it. But on top of pushing the design, they added functionality to it. And the people I've shown, it's been either one of two reactions. That's dumb, or other people are like mind blown. Like it's two extremes, but it because it's addressing two different issues. It's either gonna solve a problem that you thought you never had, or it's not gonna do anything for you. And the edge screen for me, like the little things that they added to it, it made getting to my favorite contacts, getting to them much faster. A lot of the stuff that Samsung has done over the years is they've made my using my smartphone a lot easier by getting rid of the small level the small level actions. What I mean by that is the annoying things you have to do on your smartphone, like turning it on, swiping it unlocked, swiping top down to bring up your notifications and see what notifications you got and go through them one by one in order to get them. Or you literally, it's in your pocket, you feel the buzz, you have to take the phone out and check it again, put it back in. You got more messages, you constantly taking it out, in, out, in, out, in. When they launched the Gear, it solved that issue outright because you just get a buzz on your wrist, you look at it, and you can go ahead and choose to ignore it, or answer the call, or go ahead and address it. So literally, it filtered out all the crap that you didn't need it to get. And the Edge screen did the same thing with the contacts. It's a very small thing, but the fact that now I don't have to unlock the phone, open up my contact menu, scroll down to the content I need, like my dad, I can just simply literally swipe, select, and there it is. I can instantly call him. I like that. Another thing that they did too was they made it a clock. So the fact that you can just lay your phone down like a regular alarm clock, and the time will display on the side at nighttime. So it's a very small thing, but I said that in my video. But the first day I had, the second day I had the S6 Edge, and when I woke up, the alarm was on, I literally just rolled over and looked at my phone. I tapped it and I rolled back over. But I saw the time, I saw the alarm was on, but I didn't have to pick it up, turn it on to see what time it is and everything. It was just like a clock. And it's so stupid, but for me, I was like, that's so convenient. And on top of that, they added wireless charging to it. They gave me a wireless charging pad for reserving it. I'm gonna tell you guys right now, that thing is yes, it doesn't charge fast. It charges at the old phone's paces, but literally I can come home, lay down, just put it on the pad and go to bed. They eliminated that. They eliminated the action of me having to plug and unplug it. And that's another thing. A lot of people argue with me that a lot of the stuff that Samsung has done over the years, when you look at them individually, it's a gimmick and it's stupid. But when you look at the things that they've done holistically, they've saved so much time. They've made the smartwatch ownership so much more convenient. I mean, right now with my Gear S, my Gear Circles, and my phone in VR, it's just the fact that I rarely have to pick up my phone. I only pick up my phone to respond to the big emails, to check Facebook, watch YouTube videos, and browse the internet, and that's all I use it for. And play some of my favorite apps like Clash of Clans and stuff. But that's all I use it for. My phone calls, I wear my Gear S's. And I get a phone call. I mean, my Gear Circles, I get a phone call. I see it. I just literally untap and just go ahead and answer the call. Or if I'm driving, yes, you have the car Bluetooth, but let's say you're carrying stuff and you can't do stuff, you just simply look at your watch and just say answer, and it just answers the call. Or I forget my phone at home. I mean, a lot of you have done that before. I don't freak out because I get everything on my watch. If you look at all the little stuff that they've done to make it more convenient, I love them for that. I don't think any other company has done that. Yes, they've improved. You can improve the camera and the performance and the RAM, the memory, all you want. But if you're not making my life easier, on top of that, you're not making me want to own that device. It looks very cool. I want that. Because when the Note 1 came out, there was no other phone like that. People called me crazy for trying to get a big phone like that. Now look, iPhone 6 Plus. The G4 has a 5.5 inch screen. The H8, like everyone's now playing catch up. And on top of that, like you have a selection of phablet phones out there, right? But no one can deny that the Note 4 right now currently is still the king of phablets out there. It's because they didn't just make a big screen for the purpose of making a big screen. No, they made it functional. That S Pen makes a world of difference, folks. For those of you who actually use it and stuff. But sorry if I lingered on that topic too long. I don't want to rant on that. I do got to move on to a different topic here, so I'll just go ahead and move on there. But if you guys want to ask me more about that, please go ahead and feel free to ask me more questions. Let's see. Jeffrey Kong. He just asked me if I am a Naruto fan. Yes, I am a huge Naruto fan. I have been following that anime series from day one. I was sad to see it end, and all of a sudden, I did not realize that they started up again. So, yay. All right, let's go ahead and move on to the next news topic that I found. And this is actually really cool. This is actually a really, something dear to my heart. It is San Francisco introduces free solar-powered electric vehicle charging stations. Folks, I don't know if you guys are fans of electric cars, but I definitely am. I definitely love the fact that Tesla came out years ago, and now that the electric market is finally moving forward. I mean, I did a huge paper on this back when I was in college, and I was like, when I found out what the oil industry has done to keep electric cars from coming out, it would anger most of you. It really would. Like, these cars should have been out 10, 20 years ago. Like the Tesla Roadster, the Chevy Volt, the Nissan Leaf. This is 100-year-old technology. Like these cars should have existed 20 years ago, but because of Exxon and what they've done, I won't dive into it, but this is what has impeded their progress. But now that we're seeing, we're seeing them actually moving forward. All the major car manufacturers are now offering hybrids. Like, it's finally moving forward to where it needs to be. And the fact that San Francisco, like California, is a big pusher of all of this, like all renewable energy stuff. But the fact that they're installing now these solar stations, these charging stations, like the argument that the resources you need to produce these solar panels and these energy efficient stuff and renewable energy is so substantial that you're just better off using the oil just to power the house. That's a backwards way of thinking. Because when you say renewable energy, yes, it's a huge investment, but then it will last. It's going to keep paying back over time. Yes, there's decay and you have to replace it. But let's put it this way. There's a thing about solar roadways. It'll be a huge investment to convert all the roads in the United States. It's a huge investment, but to convert all the interstates and all the roads to solar roadways, so solar panel roads, the investment would be humongous. But the estimated energy that would be generated from that, you could power the country 1,000 times over for the next millennia. Like, that's how much energy that it would generate. And so, like, you have ample energy to invest in doing other things. And on top of that, to replace those, like, let's say there's a pothole, quote unquote, it's simply you just pick up one panel and replace it. You don't have to strip an entire road and repave it. Because when I looked at the number for the how much this country spends on keeping up with this infrastructure, the road infrastructure, it's substantial. I'll pretty much this way: the budget for about 5 years to maintain our road systems would cover the installation of a solar roadway system. That's what the estimate came out to be. But sorry, I went off topic a little bit there. But if I could afford electric car right now, I would buy it. And don't get me wrong, I still love the gas engine. I used to own a Genesis Coupe when I was stupid, when I first got my job and I was stupid with my finances, but I love myself a V6 with an open exhaust. Like, I still love that sound. But when I tap into the nerd side of me, the tech side of me, having an electric car, it's just another piece of tech. And what's it called here? Oh, Asa Ridley, welcome to the podcast. She just or he or she, sorry, I don't know who you are. You just asked me what is my favorite car. My favorite car is the Nissan GTR. That might be stereotypical of me to say, but I love that GTR. Like, that is my dream car. I mean, yes, I mean, if I had $1 million, I'd get the McLaren P1, but realistically for me, it's the Nissan GTR, and I would love if I had the opportunity to own one before, gasoline goes away. I would love to, but that's my dream car right there. But as far as electric cars go, I want to own a Tesla. Period. I've always wanted one when they first announced it. Like, I still want one now, especially after the P85D was released. Like, I'm all about it. I support that technology so much. So if I can get one day, I'll get it. Let's see. Jeffrey Kong just asked, I'm thinking of getting a new phone. Should I buy the iPhone 6 Plus or a Samsung phone? I don't know I don't know which one is better. All right, I'll come back. I'm gonna because my podcast is slightly delayed to your comment. Which phone do you have now? That's the main question I need to ask you first. It depends on what phone you have now, because if you are used to the Apple the Apple ecosystem and you love iTunes and stuff, then just get the iPhone 6 Plus. I mean, you'll just be used to it. But if you're tired of Apple, if you want more bang for your buck, and you want to try something new, and you want more functionality of the screen, get the Note 4, or wait for the Note 5, because that thing's gonna be it's gonna be the god of phablets. Like, they call the Note 4 the king of phablets. I'm gonna say, like, the Note 5 will be the god of phablets. Oh, you're coming from a Nokia, even better. Just get the Note 5. just get the Note. I mean, if you're gonna go buy a phablet, buy the tried and true method. Because I'm gonna tell you, I'll put it this way: one small thing that the other phablets haven't done is doing one-handed keyboards. Like, this thing is huge, and if you do a full screen keyboard, you need both hands to type. But the Note, like, I think as early as the Note 2, they had the two senses to make one-handed functionality, and they added it. Things like that just make the Note 4 a beast. And on paper, higher resolution screen, better processor, more RAM, and plus you got expandable memory. So you can go out and buy a 128 gigabyte iPhone 6 Plus, but you're gonna be paying for that space. You can go ahead and get a basic Note. You can get a base Note 4 that has a basic 32 gigabyte memory, and then go buy a 120 gigabyte SD card for like $50-$60 if you look online good enough, and you have a beast of a phone right there. Done. Now on top of that, you can get, if you want to do something even fun, you can get the Gear VR with it and do some really cool crap with it. Like, the iPhone 6 Plus doesn't offer that. Just saying. All right. And Christian Ramos, go for the Samsung, bro. Worth all the penny. Yes, you can do unlimited things with it. I love that comment. And welcome Leonard Holly welcome Leonard Holly. Yes, patiently wait for the Note 5. You know what? And that's actually a topic that a commenter asked me for. So what do I know about the Note 5 coming out? Because I do have a contact that works at Samsung in the R&D department. I cannot disclose her name, and I cannot disclose the things that she has told me because she might get in trouble. All the things that she said is purely rumor mill. So I'm just going to feed the rumor mill a bit. But what will the Note 5 behold? So, rumored is a 4K resolution screen. Now, that might be a bit of a jump for a lot of people because that's literally doubling the clarity and the pixel density of the current screen right now. But it's not far off, because if Oculus and HTC and even Samsung are serious about releasing a retail version of their virtual reality devices, it's going to require them to have a minimum of a 4K resolution LCD screen. And the reason I say that is, it's because a perfect retail product should not have any of the defects that people are complaining about with their prototypes and stuff. So more importantly, the screen door effect. And what that is like if you guys can go to your TV right now or your phone and you literally zoom in, you look very closely at the screen, you're gonna see pixels because that's how you get the displays. They're getting smaller and smaller these days. That's why you have HD, like you have HD screens and everything. But when you use the VR device, you are zooming, you're superimposing that screen onto someone's eye, and they're literally seeing everything. Now, it has gotten significantly better. If I compare the 480p resolution of the Oculus Rift DK1 to the 2K resolution of the Note 4 of the Gear VR, it's worlds apart. And literally, people come to me saying, "Oh, I can't even see the faces of when you're watching the movie trailer." Like, they're being very picky because when I personally look at it, I see a beautiful screen. I watch movies on my Gear VR all the time, and I love the experience. I have no complaints. And I from time to time I do notice the pixelations, but with a 4K resolution screen, all those issues will potentially disappear. And that's what I'm gonna say. And that's what I'm gonna say about the 4K screen. So that's my reasoning behind it. They need a 4K screen to bring this to market. So fingers crossed on that. On top of that, they're gonna need it. They're gonna need a hell of a jump in performance because the Note 4 can play a lot of the apps for the Gear VR, but it overheats a lot because it's literally maxing out. It is like a 4-cylinder engine trying to go 150 miles an hour, and you need to be flooring that thing the entire time, and eventually you're gonna blow your transmission. And that's what the Note 4 is doing right now. It's trying to attain performances and speeds that are equal to the PC, and you gotta commend them for that. And and that's one of the biggest issues. Like, you can't play more than 15 to 40 minutes on a Gear VR before it overheats. Like, that's an issue. But if they plan on they plan on releasing a retail version where you can sit there and play for about several hours, the performance needs to be staggering. And I'm talking about efficient octa-core processor, efficient RAM. It's not talking about more RAM, but efficient RAM. Because this is a flash-based system, there's no fans to cool it down. So these apps need to the phone needs to be godly enough where playing these apps don't even make it flex its muscle. Do you know what I'm saying? So is it going to be godlike? Well, fingers crossed. I hope it is. But she was hinting at me at it was the same DDR4 memory using on the S6, but a more efficient version. A higher, a better power efficient and faster solid state memory within the phone. So there's that. So 4K resolution, improved performance, and fingers crossed that they bring back the S3 SD expansive memory. Sorry, tongue twisted there. Sorry, let me get water here. So she's saying that will be that should be in there. And most importantly, folks, the Edge display. I mean, if you look at the Note Edge when that first came out, it's actually a bigger Edge screen than the S6 Edge, but it was only on one side. And the S6 Edge curved it around the sides, but not fully all the way. My prediction, hopefully, she kind of hinted this at me, but the Note 5 Edge would literally go side to side to corner, meaning it's going to wrap all the way around. That might be a no-no to a lot of people, but I would love to see how that looks because I love how the S6 edge-to-edge screen looks, so I would love to see how the Note 5 will be. All right, next question. Have you heard about the new Gear S? About the new Gear S, if it's going to be a round face. So once again, the rumor mill from my official source. She actually hinted at me at multiple designs. So you're gonna get either, you're gonna have maybe both, like the Gear S Circle and the Gear S, I don't know, the regular Gear S. Because I think it'll be dumb of them to go down that route. Because in my opinion, because once again, I am not a fan of the round design. I just don't, because for me, I feel like you're fitting future technology into yesterday's frame. It's like putting an HD, like the 8K resolution screen on an old tube TV. Like, why would you do that? But that's just my opinion. But apparently they're gonna do like a dual release, like the S6 and S6 Edge. They'll have like the Gear S and Gear S round. Fingers crossed on that rumor mill. All right, and now before I go on to once again before I move on to here, one thing I want to talk about. I'm going to bring up some of the user comments that were brought up to me on my comment board. So let's just go on here. So this was a question submitted by Herbert Baymack. So are flagship phones worth the hype? With some of the changes through the past years in smartphones, it's only better display, more RAM, and a couple perks here and there on an $800 phone. I mean, is it pretty much, is it worth getting that, or are you better off just getting a perfectly good mid-range phone for less than $300? I'll put it this way: if you're getting a phone from year to year, it's not worth it. The improvements year over year are so incremental, in my opinion, that it's just not worth it. I mean, people who get the new iPhone every year, I mean, it must, like, for me, it must be nice to be rich and have money. Or if you're putting yourself in extreme cell phone debt in order to do that, I feel like that's really foolish. You're not getting the best phone. I mean, yes, if you're coming from like the iPhone 5 and the iPhone 6 Plus, yes, that's an incremental. That's a huge difference, but you're not really getting that much more phone. I mean, you got to think about that. You're not, like, I mean, look at Samsung, the S4, S5, S6. Difference between the S5 and S6, yes, is pretty significant. But is it life changing? Is it an $800? Is it worth the $500 price difference? No. No, God, no. A lot of people have been coming to me and saying, "Hey, I have the S5. Should I upgrade to the S6?" Like, and I asked them, "Are you in the middle of your contract or your term?" And they tell me yes. And then I immediately ask, "Do you have a lot of cash on you?" I'm like, "No, but I think it's a nicer phone." I just tell them to wait. I'll put it much this way: for you current S5 users, wait until your contract is up, because then your next phone is the S7. And the way Samsung works is they release their flagship S device. Then they release their beastly Note device. And they take and they leapfrog off the Note device and release their next flagship phone device. And it's ridiculous. So I would say definitely hold off and wait. If you're going year to year, it's not worth it. But if you're going like 1.5 to 2 year, like 1.5 generation to 2 generation gap difference, then that's worth the upgrade in my opinion, because that is right around your upgrade time. But I'll put it this way: my parents still use the S4. They both have the S4s, and I showed them the S6 and asked them if they wanted to upgrade, and they were both like, "We don't need that." Like, I mean, yes, you're getting increased performance, so your apps will run more efficiently. You can run multiple apps at once, but do you really need that? Is it really adding any added extra function in your life? Most of the cases, it's not. Now, I argue that the S6 offers some nice perks now, but generally speaking, it's not, in my opinion. But obviously, the market, the masses will always get the new phone. That's just the way it is. But if you're a smart purchaser, you will recognize that and just kind of hold firm. I'll get to the comment board in a second here. I'm gonna go through the topics that were submitted to me here. Yash1331. He asked about AR devices with Google Glass, Microsoft HoloLens, and Sony AR glasses coming out. I already talked about that at the beginning of the podcast. I'm definitely gonna be doing a video on the Microsoft HoloLens pretty soon, so I'll go ahead and do that. But the next question here is from Mika Blackheart. Do you think Sony will do another handheld? And what do you like about the Vita over the PSP? And do you think that Sony will remain on top in this generation? Excuse me here, sorry. For me, yes. I think that Sony will remain on top this generation due to pretty much Microsoft's lackluster, horrible start. They pretty much like picked up where Microsoft failed at, and they have been ahead ever since. Yes, Microsoft has finally sold a bunch of Xbox Ones, but Sony had like that's not even caught up to this like the PS4 sales yet, and when you come down to it, it's like, all right, well, you're finally catching up, but what's still enticing PS4 owners to buy an Xbox One? You have a few titles that might bring it over. Like for me, I'm a huge Halo fan, but am I willing to go out now and spend $600+ to get an Xbox One and the game to play the new Halo game? And I might argue no. I mean, is it worth spending $600+ to play one game when I have a perfectly good system now? It isn't. It just doesn't make sense, and they're not going to get a lot of people to do that. They're going to get the rich kids, but that's a small percentage. And for me, I'm kind of sad that handhelds are going away. I mean, yes, the 3DS and the Vita are still performing pretty decently. 3DS is doing really well, but with the emergence of tablets and these phones getting better and the app market growing, I feel like I feel like it's not going to be there. It's just I feel like it's going away, but I hope that they at least go out with a bang. I definitely like the Vita more because it's got a better screen, better performance, and the game library. It's not as big, but you can still backtrack and play older games. And the fact that you can play PS3 games on the Vita and you can remote play the PS4, like, come on. But people in the comment board, I will be back to you in a bit here. I'm not skipping your questions. Don't worry. I'll be back to you guys. And for those of you who just joined, welcome. I do welcome all of you guys. Thanks for tuning in. I got three more comments to go through. And I got two more. I got two more suggested topics to go through. I'll be right to you guys. So Marty Janderson asked, what are the rumors for the Gear S2? I Googled it, and mostly BS stuff from the Apple fanboy sites. Okay, yeah. Like I just said, round display and square display, they patented the round display, so it's rumored. But I'm assuming that they're going to do that because they're going to want to appeal to both the functional market, like me, and the luxury market. Like they're gonna want to do that. They need to diversify their product line. I recognize that, so they're gonna do that. But my friend, she kind of hinted at me about obviously faster processor, higher clarity screen, so videos would look a little bit crisper on it. Better screen response, so like when you're browsing the internet, the pinch zoom would be a lot better. She did kind of talk about a potential expendable memory. Like, I don't know how they're going to implement that, but apparently they're working on a new micro SD card that will fit into these things, because the Gear S does support a SIM card. So I don't see why they wouldn't, allocate a space for a micro SIM card there. So that could be a potential, but bigger internal memory at least. So it comes with 4 gigs standard right now. No other watch does. But she did say that they might expand upon that, and obviously more bands, sorry, more variety of straps and everything. So we're that. So let's see. And she also commented, if they make even half the jump they did from the Gear to the Gear S for the Gear S2, it would be amazing. Yes, I totally agree. Because when you compare the original Gear to the Gear S in the 1 year time difference or 1.5 year time difference, it's huge. It's absolutely huge. My God, it's night and day with those two devices. So if they make those type of improvements to the Gear S2, like they're gonna give Apple a run for their money. I'll put it that way. But they gotta nail it with the functionality, the app support, and most importantly, the design, because it's gotta look good. And the last comment here, it is we got Babby Ope 7. How do you feel about technology and where it's headed in general? And that's actually a pretty broad topic, but folks, it's a good time. Like I'll pretty much put it this way. I feel like for a good 5 or 10 years after the turn of the century, the millennia, like I feel like technology grew incrementally. It was a very incremental growth period. It really was. Like in the 90s, it was growing exponentially. Like if you compare 1990 to 1999, it was a huge difference. But when you compare 2001 to 2009, I mean, other than the iPhone and those kind of stuff, it just wasn't as big as I thought it'd be. But in recent years, my God, like electric cars, virtual reality, 3D printers, 3D printing, biomedical stuff, phone speeds, 5G speeds, like augmented reality, smartwatches. Like we're finally hitting nirvana. Like definitely, folks. Like look for year after year, we're going to be getting some cool crap coming out, and so it's a good time. And for me, it's a good time to be a tech reviewer because I have plenty of stuff that I can talk about. Thankfully. All right. So for the last 45 minutes, I'm going to go back to doing live Q&A from the comment board. So I'm not going to ignore you guys. I'm going to scroll back up here. So welcome to those who just joined. So let me come down here. And from the last question that I talked about, here we go. Christian Ramos, you hope the Gear VR has an internal battery pack. The new one for the S6 and S6 Edge will have a battery pack, so it will last longer. So that's definitely a plus, and smart on Samsung's end. So it's going to be in there. Next question from Lonely Boy 323. What do you think the Gear S2 is going to have different from the current one now? I think I just talked about that, so I think you should be good. Same question there. Same question there. I did answer that one. It's going to have round and square. I tried to keep up with the new phones that come out every year, and I can't do it anymore. Yes, I can't do it anymore either. It's just way too costly. And that's why I said, like, once again, just stay the course. Just do the 2-year contracts and and upgrade when you're at the end of the contract. If you're smart, you would change your phone right when the new devices come out. So if you kind of upgrade in the middle of a phone's life cycle, it's difficult because you're always going to be at a crossroads. But if you do it at when it's launched, it's a little bit easier to cope with. All right. Next question is, let me see here. Do you know if you talked about it already? Okay, yeah, I already talked about Gear S. Frank Groot, I'll be upgrading from the Samsung Galaxy. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. He is upgrading from the Samsung Galaxy S2. That is going back. Oh my goodness. It's going to be night and day for you, sir. Holy cow. Like, it's going to be, oh my, like, I have no comment to that. Like, you can get it, like, yeah, get the S6. You're going to be amazed about all the cool stuff that comes out with. If you want to check it out, I did a review on that. You're going to be doing that. Next question here. James D, good evening. And TRG1408, hello. All right. I believe that was the recent comment. Okay. Oh, wait, never mind. Here we go. Playing the Note 5 with the retail Gear VR, I can't hold it up. Yeah. Honestly, if you don't really need it now, folks, wait for the Note 5 and that version of the Gear VR. Even a lot of the reviewers said that the improvements that they made on the S6 and the new Gear VR are significant, but they're not that big enough to the point where it's still not a major improvement. It's still the Gear VR the Gear VR for the S6. It's still called the Innovator Edition. It's not the retail version yet. The retail version is going to come out. Me personally, I feel like it's going to come out with the Note 5 because the Note 5's improvements and capabilities are going to make the Gear VR experiences that much better. So if you can wait right now, it's probably going to be 5 months away. But if you can be that patient, definitely wait out for it. I mean, if you can't, then grab the S6 and the S6 Gear VR is going to come out on May 14th. So it's going to be available then. My only gripe with Samsung, actually, to that point, I don't like the fact that they're going to charge $249 for that unit. I felt like $200 was pushing it, but I was willing to pay that much because not only you're getting the right peripherals, but you're paying for the apps and the OS essentially, and the experience. But the fact that they're charging the S6, the S6 Gear VR $250 is a little bit crazy to me. But they're still going to get my money. I'm still going to pick it up because I got to try it out. Unfortunately, the S6 Edge that I was reviewing is my girlfriend's and not mine. So I'll be getting the Gear VR for the S6. I'll review it for a few weeks. and then I'll end up probably either selling or giving it away as a subscriber giveaway, because most likely a lot of you are going to end up having the S6 phone anyway. So that might be a way for you to try it out. But for those of you joining the podcast, yeah, that's going to be my solemn promise right now. Once I'm done with the Gear VR for the S6, I'm going to give that away, because I have the Note 4 still. I'm going to keep the Note 4 until the holidays, so this is perfectly fine for me. Okay, Leonard Hawley, he says, can you do a how-to video on emulators? Oh yeah, you asked me that before. Yeah, I'll go ahead and do that. Don't worry. It seems like emulators are actually okay with with some of the developers, so I'm gonna go ahead and do a how-to video on that soon. Lonely Boy 323 asks again, what do you think about the Avengers? Oh yes, actually this is actually what I wanted to talk about. I totally forgot this. I wanted to talk about the recent movie trailers that came out, folks. The Avengers Age of Ultron trailer, would you be watching when it gets released? Yeah. I already bought tickets for the midnight, the matinee for the next day to watch with my coworkers, and I'm going to watch it again with my friends over the weekend. Yeah, I watched the first Avengers movie like 5 times in the theaters, because pretty much, well, actually, now with the Gear VR, I can replicate the movie theater experience in this now. But just watching it in IMAX is just, you can't beat it. You just can't. Yeah, folks, the Age of Ultron trailer, the new Star Wars trailer, mind blown. Oh my gosh, I don't know if you guys are Star Wars fans out there, but when I saw that new trailer, oh my gosh, like, it's back. The original trilogy, that feel, that excitement is back, and it's not being lied to us anymore, in my opinion. It's... God, like, at the end of that, look, no, as soon as I saw Luke's hand come up, and they play this Christmas, and the song, the orchestra came on, like, I was in my office when I was watching the trailer, and I was just like, yes, like, this year is gonna rock, and I saw the Rogue One teaser trailer. I don't know if you guys saw the Rogue One teaser trailer, like, oh my God, and I love how the director, he was like, well, it's called Star Wars, right? Oh my gosh. Pretty much like the Rebels in Return of the Jedi and Empire Strikes Back, they looked pathetic in my opinion. They just looked like a ragtag group. But the Rebels in the Rogue One teaser trailer, like, they made them look badass. So, oh, sorry, excuse my language, but yes, I just cannot wait. And I cannot wait to see Avengers. Like, I see all the reviews and I see all these movie clips. I'm just like, I just can't wait. Oh my gosh. All right, next question. Joe Hunter, have you ever thought about starting a gaming channel? If so, are you on Twitch? Yes and yes. I actually have a chat. If you go to my my main channel right now, LPX Tech, I have a link to the gaming channel, LPX Games. And right now, I actually started off my main channel as a gaming channel with virtual reality stuff, and I was still kind of trying to find my footing and just kind of like, get my personality like kind of worked out, like how I felt, and get comfortable with the camera. And I felt like, I pretty much have done that. I pretty much have gotten there. So I do have a Twitch channel. It's LPX Studios. But I haven't really done any live gaming events just because of timing. Because I do have a full-time job right now. So like right now, 90% of my time is devoted to the tech channel. Just pretty much keeping up with the comments, making videos, just making content in general. And so for me, with the gaming channel for now, I'm just keeping it to Throwback Thursdays. So every Thursday, if you look at it right now, I missed this week because I just had a huge issue at work. I had to stay late. But every Thursday, I will do my best to do a retro title suggested to me by a commenter or a subscriber. And that's slowly growing. So that's more of a side project, but that's something I definitely want to do in the future because gaming is my passion. And the fact that I don't have time to play games anymore is just like, I actually have a couple PS4 games that are still on the wraps. Like I have like 6 games right now. I haven't opened yet. Like that's how sad it is. But definitely, yeah, I definitely want to do more Twitch stuff and get more games out there. Mika Blackheart, welcome, dude. Have I played the new Mortal Kombat? Yes, I have. My buddy picked it up and I played it, and by God, yes. For me, I thought, like, how are they going to improve it? And they just improved it by making it bloodier and more violent. I loved it. I don't know about you guys, but I'm a fan of the Mortal Kombat series. I'm a millennial. I grew up with Mortal Kombat 1 and 2, and that factor is back. Because when I was a kid, and when the little blood spatters from the Sega Genesis when we were kids was that awesome. But now it's just like they just like took the line and erased it and just went beyond. Like, I love it. And actually, I'm digging the storyline right now. So I definitely love it. All right, next question. Does the Gear VR work with the S6? You're gonna have to get the Gear VR, the S6 version of the Gear VR, which comes out May 14th for that one. I'm playing Star Wars: The Force Unleashed. Have you played and beaten the game? Yes. I like the first one. I can live without the second one. That's definitely true right there. James D. I'm very disappointed that they have not provided the ability to download, pay for movies with the VR. It almost makes me want to sell my Gear VR. Yes, they're working on that platform right now, James. They are, because they're experimenting with the Milk Video. It's not perfect right now because they're still working out the kinks, but essentially they're gonna have YouTube integration. They're gonna have the Milk integration, so you're gonna have the 360 videos, but they're working on purchasing movie rights and stuff, so you can go ahead and view those. But right now, once again, it's the prototype, it's the Innovator Edition. Like, I know a lot of people who got this device were expecting like a polished, finished product, but this was just for them to justify them producing more and actually dumping more resources into it. Because in Korea, they have a few more services than we do in the States, because they test it more in the home market. But definitely expect, because their dream and their goal for the Gear VR is to be able to, like, let's say you and a friend, or you have a family, you guys sit in a room, all your Gear VR sync up with one another, and you sit down in a movie theater or a live show or a recorded show event, and you're watching it together, everyone in a virtual room. That's the point that they're trying to get to. And so you can definitely expect for them to release, payable movies and rentable movies and stuff. Like, I definitely see them streaming. Like, that's going to be awesome. The fact that YouTube has started allowing 360 video uploads. Like, I don't know if you guys have seen that. Pretty much you can view 360 videos on your phone, and you can look around. Like, it's not virtual reality, but you literally move around with the phone and you're looking through the environment. Like, that's a step in the right direction. But I mean, for right now, you're just gonna have, like, for me, like, digital movies, yeah, like, it works. But just be a little bit patient with them. Definitely expect a huge change this fall when they release the retail version, or fingers crossed, the retail version. Next question. Do you know a way to root the... Oh, yeah, you asked this before. I've had commenters told me that they've rooted their Gear S devices. I personally haven't, and I'm actually really not knowledgeable in that. But for me, I actually like the way the Gear S is right now, so I don't see a need to root it, but other people have told me that they have, but I really don't know too much about it, though. Leonard Hawley, who is your favorite Marvel superhero? Iron Man. I'm gonna flat out say that right now. I love me some Iron Man, because I don't know if you guys saw my commercial, but I had the costume. And for me, like, the reason why I love Iron Man is because ever since I was a kid, I was into tech, robots, like Transformers, Power Rangers, Voltron, like Gundams. Like, I love anything to do with mecha. And for me, when I look at like the toy lines and like the collectible figures and stuff, out of all the characters, Iron Man looks the sickest. Like, oh my gosh, if you guys saw the new Hulkbuster, like, collectible toy, oh, mind blown. But Iron Man is definitely my favorite character. Next, what do you think about the Apple Watch coming out? Oh, Jacob, you missed. Well, first of all, welcome, Jacob. And sorry, let me drink some water here really quick. Jacob, you just missed at the beginning of the podcast, I pretty much openly ranted about the Apple Watch. But what do I think about the Apple Watch? It's pretty much what I thought it'd be. I knew it was going to sell out because of all the Apple fanboys and girls out there. It was going to sell out. And but I'm not impressed with it. I mean, I knew it was going to sell out, but it's nothing that I would buy personally. It did it. The watch does not impress me. It is not doing anything new or anything substantial for me to say that it's a leap in technology. But what's funny is the Apple users and fanboys will say that, oh, it's the most advanced watch out there. It's the only smartwatch out there. And and pretty much, like, I love how the fact, I said this before, I love the fact that now anytime, like, people have seen the commercials, they've seen it in the store, they've seen it on the website, but anytime they see any smartwatch out in the market, they're automatically going to say, is that an Apple Watch? And there's a reason why I made that t-shirt, folks. Like it's so stupid because now they assume that they think Apple is the only one who makes innovative products, and they're 2.5 years late in the market. Long story short, I'm not impressed with it, but I tell every person that I meet that has an iPhone to get it. But the thing is, I'm glad that I said this before, I'm reiterating, but I am glad that the Apple Watch came out, because now the market will recognize smartwatches. Like, it is a fact. Like, I do not deny that. I'm glad that it's out, but I'm not impressed. I'm actually very disappointed with them because I thought they were going to come out with some really cool looking bands, and like the watch face was going to look really awesome and epic, and they came out with that design. Like, really? Like, all the concept art that was like all going across the web, all the Google, like the concept art and stuff, the curved displays, all of them infinitely better than what it is now. I am very disappointed. I'm very disappointed in Apple. Like, I've been waiting very patiently ever since the 4S for them to come out with something to win me back. They have not. They have not won me back yet. Ugh, sorry. I don't want to keep ranting. Once again, I don't hate them. I'm a disappointed parent. That's pretty much the end of it. I'm a disappointed parent with Apple. Samsung has been doing great, giving me straight A's and being very innovative. Apple, he's just been the stubborn child that refuses to give me new things. I don't know. That's a bad metaphor, but that's what I feel like about it. All right, Lonely Boy. What do your friends think about you being a tech reviewer? Do you get teased for being a tech nerd every single freaking day? Every day. I mean, I'll pretty much put it this way. A lot of people still think that this is not going to work. A lot of people still keep... I have been getting a lot of flack that my efforts in doing YouTube are pointless. And ever since the beginning, I've been like, I had people sort of support me saying that, oh, you need to try this, they were being critical. But in the back of their minds, all of them pretty much told me, like, yeah, like, even my family thought that this was going to be a hobby. This wasn't going to be anything full-time or this dedicated and stuff. No one thought I was going to get more than 30 subscribers, because that was just my group of friends. Like, nobody thought that. And even now, they're like, wow, you're almost at 3,000 subscribers. By the way, yeah, we're almost at 3,000 subscribers. Yes. But even now, they're like, you should just stop. Like, I am not getting enough sleep. Like, I sleep maybe 2 to 3 hours a day during the weekday. Losing sleep, spending a lot of money. Like, I'm putting myself in debt doing this channel because I got to keep up with stuff. And I'm in a lot of debt for it. And a lot of people are calling me stupid. Like, this is a horrible, poor financial decision. You should be doing something else or focusing on your career. And just my thing is, I'm ignoring all that. I understand that this may be a stupid and foolish venture of me. And that, you know what? Like, there's so many other tech reviewers. There's so many other YouTube channels out there that have 100,000, 200,000, 1 million, 2 million subscribers. Then there's no way that I'm going to be able to do that. There's no way that I'm going to be able to tap into the market and gain a subscriber base. But you know what? I'm not one to give up. And you know what? To you, 3,000 right now. I'm tear up. But a lot of you guys, you pretty much given me direction. My first couple months doing this channel, I just kind of threw things out there, just kind of flow along. But I feel like I found my niche. and I'm gonna see if I can. I'm gonna do my best to grow, and I'm gonna keep experimenting. Like, I don't know if you guys saw my T-shirt commercial video. I encourage you guys to do so, but that was just me experimenting with it, and I'm glad I was able to do it. Like, I know this is gonna be a lot of hard work. I mean, I should have came into the YouTube game a lot earlier. And for those of you who saw my vlog about me, like, talking about myself, like, I was with the wrong person at that time. I was thinking about doing this YouTube thing back in 2010, and I was just with the wrong group of people, and my ex-fiance pretty much stopped me from doing what I was thinking about doing in 2012, and I lost a lot of chances. But you know what? It's never too late, and I'm doing it now. I'm working my butt off, and you know what? The fact that I can get 100 views on one video overnight, I feel like that's a win. You know, when I get a new subscriber every day, I'm just like, yes. The fact that I have one thumbs up, or I made one person happy that they were able to solve a problem, I'm enjoying myself. Yes, I'm having a lack of sleep, and I have this huge fear of debt in the back of my mind. But for the first time in my life right now, I'm more motivated than ever. Not just to prove them wrong. That's the wrong reason to do this channel. If I'm doing this to prove people wrong, I should stop now. I should stop right now. But that's not that's maybe like in the back of my mind. But the reason I'm doing this is because I love it. I have grown to love making videos. I have grown to love, doing giveaways, conversing with people, helping people solve issues and problems. This has been fun. I mean, yes, I'm crazy. I'm spending money I don't have, and I'm losing a lot of time and sleep, not spending time with my girlfriend, not spending time with my friends. But I'm doing that. I'm doing it. And you know what, guys? Even if I don't get big, we'll just say that. Like, maybe I stop at 5,000 subscribers, and that's as big as I'll ever get. That's fine. I'll still do this, because 5,000 people, that's a lot of people. That's a lot of people watching my stuff. That's a lot of people who thought I was worth it enough to subscribe. That's still a lot of people. And for me, that's still worth doing. Even if it was one person watching my stuff, I would still do this on a daily basis. So, you know what? They're my friends, but screw that. I'm still going to do it. But the realistic part of me, hopefully it grows enough, and I do well enough where I can actually start doing this full time, and be a full-time YouTuber and be financially responsible. Like, I hope to get to that point, but until then, I will maintain my full job at the financial company I work for and do this on the side. So I'm gonna maintain this full time. So sorry about that if I ranted, guys, but that's just my thing on that. Let's go back to some of the questions here. Are you going to see Batman versus Superman? Yes, I will go see it, because I still love comic book movies, but I'm a little weary because I don't like Zack Snyder. I'm one of those rare people that don't like Zack Snyder, but hopefully he actually ends up making a good movie out of it, so we'll see about that. Let's see here. I got 22 minutes, so I'm going to go through these questions here. Mika Blackheart, do you think Sony will release a PS4 Slim? Maybe. Like, I actually feel like the current system right now is actually a good size. I have no complaints about it, but they definitely have the capabilities to make a slim version, so I have no doubt that they might. Let's see here. I loved the Silverhawks cartoon. I don't recall the Silverhawks cartoon. Sorry, I don't really recall that. Jacob, you have the Gear 2, and thank God I have the Gear 2. Yes. The Gear 2 is an awesome device. It's literally the Gear S without the curved screen and the standalone function. It's the same device at the end of the day, and plus you have a camera. There's a reason why the Gear 2 is still going for $300. It's a beast of a watch. So yeah, you're fine, Jacob. You're fine. Leonard, yeah, I wish the Gear S update would come soon too. Like, I don't know what Samsung's doing. Once again, Samsung. I don't know if anyone from Samsung will watch this, but you have a horrible marketing department. I don't know what you guys are thinking. The fact that I do better marketing for you than you guys, you have $1 billion cash pool. Yeah, whatever. Oh, thanks, guys. Yeah, they're wrong. Believe in me. Thank you. Thanks, guys. I really appreciate you guys commenting. Um, Lonely Boy, you says, since the time you started the tech reviewing brand and now this moment, have your thoughts changed about all of this? Yeah. I mean, at first, like, I'll just quickly answer that. At first, I didn't think that this was gonna work. Even I was doubting myself at the end. Um, but ever since I did the Gear S video, I did the real, like my style where I just talked about it. I had no scripts. I just talk about how it is, owning it. And I did the water test, and I did a couple things here and there, and I hit 100, I hit 500, hit 1,000, then I hit 2,000. Like now it's like, yeah, now the sky's the limit. Like I'm still pushing to try to get 100,000 subscribers by the end of the year. Like that is my dream and goal. Like I'm going to work my butt off to get there, and I will do all I can. So yeah, it's changed a lot because now I believe in it and I love doing this. Like I see this as my future thing to do. So fingers crossed, guys. Joe Hunter, great channel and podcast. I enjoy it. Thank you. I know this is like a very dysfunctional podcast and this is all over the place, but thank you for saying so. Hopefully I will get more refined and better in the future. And you know what? Hopefully I might have a guest person. I'm thinking about bringing in a couple people and doing, because talking to a screen alone is a little bit difficult. If it'd be easier if I had someone to bounce off ideas with here and there. Oh, Ralph Vacaz. What's up, dude? What's up, buddy? He's speaking of original followers, Ralph Vasquez is one of my first 100 subscribers. He's been a very loyal very loyal subscriber. Jacob Miss Savage, do you have a Wii U? If so, do you think Nintendo will come out with another Wii U? No, I do not have a Wii U, but I wish I had a Wii U. Back when it came out, I didn't have enough money to buy it. And right now, like, if I wasn't doing this channel, I would have bought it this past Christmas because I want to play Mario Kart and I want to play the new Smash Brothers. And I want to play Hyrule Warriors. I want to play a lot of the games that have come out. But I can't. It's just, put it this way, I really don't have time. Like, between my full-time job and doing this channel, I barely have time to play Clash of Clans on my phone. Like, I said it earlier, I bought 6 games to PS4 that I really wanted to play, but I haven't been able to open them. And it's just like, it's very disheartening for me. Like, this, yeah, I wish I had more time, but hopefully in the future I will. If I have a chance to, I'll definitely pick up the Wii U and play some more games. Like, I definitely will. But will they release another version of the Wii U? Heck yeah, they will. I mean, they're either come up with an improved version of it where there's more capabilities, or something. They gotta do something with the system, and I think they definitely will. Let's see here. Peter Porcaro, I barely have 5 subscribers on my other channels, although I still feel like I could make videos each day. I don't care how many viewers. Like, yeah, seriously. Excuse me, sorry. A real YouTuber should not focus on the money, the fame, the subscribers. No. If you have a passion to help people, you're making videos just even for 5 people. That should be enough. You can tell a good person from a selfish person if they're willing to spend their time to help one person out. Spend their day, spend their time just to help solve a problem. And for no rewards, no game back. Yes, my videos are monetized, and yes, I joined Maker Studios. You can judge me all you want. That was a mistake, sorry. But you can judge me all you want, but I'm not making exorbitant amounts of money right now. I'm losing money. Like, people ask me, hey, can you try this? Can you try that? Sometimes I can't do it. But you know what? I can at least devote my time to researching it for them and make a quick how-to video for them. That's still my time. I don't mind doing it. Like, I'll go out and research, or I'll go out and buy the new product for your guys' sake to try it out. I'll put myself on the line for you guys. And like, it shouldn't matter. It really shouldn't. You should just be happy that you were able to make someone's day. That smile will trickle. Oh wow, this is getting cheesy, but you make one person smile, and that smile will trickle down to other people, and that trickles down. That becomes exponential. Put it this way, do I hope to help more people? Heck yeah. I wouldn't. I'd be lying if I didn't say that. But is that my main drive? No, it isn't. Ralph Vasquez, I think Nintendo is already working on a new system. Yeah, but he's just commenting on that. Mika Blackout, how is your web page coming along? My web page. Oh man, I apologize to the LPX community who've been to my website. I apologize, and you guys actually visit that web page. I apologize. That site deserves more loving than I can give right now. I try to work on it from time to time. So, like, if you guys actually visit it, like, from week to week, you'll see minor improvements here and there. I definitely got to work on it, especially now that I'm actually going to be selling the Gear S metal bands, the metal straps. I'm going to be I'm taking pre-orders on my GoFundMe page, but I'm actually working with a supplier to actually start selling the Gear S metal bands on my website if things go well enough. And I definitely need to make improvements to it. So in the coming weeks, definitely expect to see some major overhaul on the site. Man, sorry, my voice is going. I definitely need to do some work on that. Leonard Hawley, take a break and take your girl out. We understand. I've been doing that more. Don't worry. Even though she says she's okay with me doing this, I know she's definitely. She said like she sort of regretted allowing me to do this because she's seen less of me. But she's definitely happy that I'm doing this. She's been, gosh, she was one of my first doubters, but she's now one of my greatest supporters. Because we had a huge fight the other week. We really did. And I pretty much said to her, like, would you want me to stop doing this? And her response, this is why she's a keeper. She's like, as much as I hate not seeing you, she recognizes that this is my passion. And I love doing this more than my current job. So she wants to see me actually quit my job and do this full time. And she's willing to support me and put up with me until I do so, because I want to see her happy and she wants to see me happy. And so that's why she's a keeper, guys. And don't worry, like, the reason why I lose sleep throughout the week is so that I can produce content and spend time with her on the weekends. Like don't worry, guys. I'm spending more time with her, and yeah, she's definitely doing better. All right. Oh, I skipped a lot of questions here. Hold on. Lonely Boy, expect a trophy. Yes. Yeah, if I reach 100,000 subscribers, I get a little silver plaque. That's the goal. Because I get that. I don't need 1 million subscribers. For me, 100,000 subscribers is manageable. I can do that. But yeah, if I get that trophy, guys, dude, expect a big giveaway that when I hit that 100,000 subscriber mark. However long that may take me. Sir, what, Lonely Boy again, sir, what does it take to do collaboration videos with you? Would be a nice thing to do. When I get some more time, I'll definitely do some collab work, because, oh my gosh, seriously, free time is, it's a luxury for me these days. It really is. And so, and I'll put it this way, I have a huge list right now of videos I need to make right now for the channel. I have a huge to-do list. So as I'm doing that, and I'll put it this way, I did set a goal for myself to at least go half-time at my job and devote more time to YouTube once I reach a certain level amount. So hopefully by the end of the summer, maybe I'll be able to not quit my job, but go half-time at my work, so I can devote at least, once again, more time to this thing. And once I get to that point, I think I'll have more time to do some collaboration work with some people. So, and that's something I definitely want to do, because there's no reason to try to compete with other channels. No, I want to work with them. Like, mi casa su casa, YouTube is YouTube. It's everyone's home right now. And so there's no need to, we're not rivals here. I had a reviewer actually say that because of mine and Flossie Carter's reviews, he was able to buy the Gear S. So it's because of our combined efforts, he was able to sell it. Like, I had nothing against those big YouTuber channels. Like, they're 5-minute, 10-minute videos. You get the information that you need. But with the small channels like me giving you like the more in-depth stuff, with those two informations combined, you're better equipped. All right, let's see here. Oh, welcome M8D1AZ1Z. Nice username. Wait, does that mean something? You will reach 130,000 subscribers. Just keep up the hard work. Hell yeah, man. I ain't stopping. I'm going to keep going. I'll hit that 10,000 mark. And hopefully I can do some more video game stuff too, because I want to play some more retro stuff. Or more current stuff too. Ralph Vasquez. I just got my Yeti Blackout Edition. I'd love to join you one day. Yes. Folks, subscribers. Folks, when I get free time, please, like, you can reach out to me now and see if I'd be willing to do a collab video, because you know what? If you just want like a 30-second, 1-minute clip from me, I'll be more than happy to do that. More than happy to. I've got a couple of requests to do so. So I think not next week, but the week after, I'm gonna start doing like someone asked me to do like a 30-second clip on my favorite battery. So that's fine. I don't mind doing that. So yeah, if you guys want to do like collaboration work on that level, feel free to message me anytime, and I'll be more than happy to do that with you guys. Leonard. Oh, sorry. What time is it? All right, I got 9 minutes. 9 minutes left. So let's see here. Let's just do rapid fire questions. So I'm going to answer these really quick. Oh God, you guys are asking a lot of questions now. Do you think doing a live podcast with your viewers through Skype? Maybe. Like I'm trying to use the YouTube landscape because I'm trying to keep all my content there. But that may be a possibility because I can actually still broadcast through Skype. So that is a possibility. MAD1. If you don't know who I am the one who asked you about the Gear S if it is compatible. A lot of people ask me that question. Wait, do I personally know you? A lot of people ask me that question, so you're gonna be a little bit more specific than that. Let's see here. Jacob is Savage. If you had to choose a different phone other than Samsung, what would you choose? I would get the HTC M8 because that phone is gorgeous and it's got front speakers. It's a beast of a phone. I would get that. Yeah, that's the phone I would get. Let's see, M81. But now you helped me even more. I am now using an S6 Edge. Who are you? Do I know you personally? James D. What editing software do you use? I asked you before, but not sure if you answered. Back in the day, I used Windows Movie Maker. Not sure if that one is still out there. I started off using Windows Movie Maker, and then I'm currently using Windows Premiere Elements, not Pro. I can't afford that crap. I'm using Premiere Elements, but now I'm considering signing up for their cloud services so I can get access to Adobe Pro because I quickly got, like, right now I want to do so much more with my videos, but I'm very limited with my editing software, but I'm using Premiere Elements right now. TRG 1408. I am hearing Minecraft music in the background. Do I have music playing? I don't got music playing. I'm actually quite confused. Sorry. All right, next question. Lonely Boy, will we ever see a picture of you and your girlfriend? Here, I'll show you guys right now. Why not? I'll show you guys right now. Let me just go to my Facebook. But while I do that, I will answer more questions. Hold on. Hold on, folks. Wait. All right, I should not stop talking. So let me see what the next question is while I bring it up. Why don't you bring in your... Why are you guys asking about my girlfriend now? Why don't you bring your girl with you so she can work with you? I've actually asked her. I've asked her several times if she'd be willing to do videos with me or at least come in because I'm like, hey, it'd be fun. She doesn't. She's very camera shy. She doesn't. Yeah, she just doesn't want to come in. Yeah, she's boring like that, folks. No, I love her. Hold on. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Wait, I just found a photo. For those of you listening on the audio podcast, I apologize. But let me bring this photo out. Copy. Oh, no. Oh, here we go. Sorry if my screen went black. You can still hear me though. I'm gonna bring up a picture of my girlfriend really quick. Here it is. So you guys have probably seen her here and there, but there she is. That's my girlfriend. Her name's Sarah. So you guys will get to see her for a bit. There you go. So while I have that picture up, I will go ahead and answer another question. Can you stream Showbox on the Samsung Gear VR? No. Sorry. Hello, Robert Smith, by the way. You can't stream anything to the Gear VR quite yet. They're working on it right now. Like I've tested out a couple PC streaming software to the Gear VR, but it's not quite there yet. They may improve it with the Note 5, but right now the capabilities is not quite there yet. Let's see. M8D1 AZ1Z. Let me come back to me here. There we go. That's enough of my girlfriend, guys. M8D1. Wait, so you know Flossie? No, I do not know Flossie. I wish I kind of knew him. I think he's really chill. No, I don't know him, but I just had a comment to say that he watched his videos and then he watched mine to decide ultimately on whether he wanted to purchase the S6 and the Gear S. M8D1, good for you. Thanks, by the way. My username refers to my name, but in numerical shape. I don't have the time to think about that. I'll figure it out later afterwards. I got 4 minutes left. All right, next. Leonard Holly. Is Clash of Clans a good game? It's more addicting if you can get into it. I like to play because, like, for me, like, it's 2 minutes of my day. And that's it. So there you go. Mika Blackheart. Should I get the Note Edge or the S6 Edge? I hate small screens. If you're not willing to wait for the Note 5 Edge, then get the Note Edge. Or if you want to try out the Gear VR, get the Note 4. But yeah, the Note Edge and Note 4 are still beastly devices, and they're beastly phones. And me personally, the Note Edge actually has more functionality of the Edge screen than the S6 Edge does. So there you go. Get it. Get that. Ralph Vasquez. Hey, Andrew. So tell me, did you cry for the new Star Wars trailer? Just want to see where it is on your nerd meter. FYI, I almost did. You missed my earlier reaction. Yes, I teared up. Pretty much the part where it said, like, after you saw Luke's hand, he's like, you have it too. And like this Christmas came up, and the violins from the score came on. Literally, I teared. I was like, yes. And then the X-wings, you saw the stormtroopers. Oh my god, yeah, I had nerd explosion. I'm a huge fan of the original trilogy, and I just love the direction that Abrams is taking the films. Yes. Yes, I cried. Ralph, she is on a few of his. Yes, she is actually in some of my videos. If you guys actually saw it. Okay, Lonely Boy. Chris Perlillo does tech videos with his wife, so would be good idea if you would bring your girl. Actually, yeah, like for me, I would love to bring her in. Like I just gotta get her kind of past like the shyness, because her reaction to the S6 was priceless when we were at the store. Like I can't reenact it for her, but like I showed her the different phones that we could. Because pretty much, I put it this way: she had an upgrade, so I was like, whatever phone you get, I will review that phone. And I had her try out all the phones, and her reaction to the S6, because I showed her like the quick camera functions and the Edge, she was sold. She was like, I loved it. Like, I wish I would have recorded her reaction, because you guys would have really enjoyed it. All right, last few questions here. Have you seen the new Oppo phone with no bezels? No. I will check that out, Joe Hunter. Thanks for the suggestion. Thank you. Lonely Boy. I think Flossie is on Facebook Messenger all the time, just saying. I'm kind of scared. I'm like the low-hanging fruit. I'm kind of scared to kind of approach some of these bigger YouTubers. I've tried to reach out to like Zetomax and Techiso TV, but no one's really messaged me back yet. So my message might have gotten like... Like Floss Carter, he's got over 200,000 subscribers, so he's probably got he's probably getting hounded with messages. Ralph Fessy, yes. Robert Smith, do you think Samsung will ever put speakers on the front of the Note? God, I kind of hope they would, because all right, the speakers on the back of the Note 4 I could deal with because I could still hold the phone fine, but sometimes my fingers would cover it. It annoyed me, but I could deal with it. But on the S6, beautiful phone, I love it. But the fact that they put the speakers on the bottom, what were you thinking? You hold the phone with two hands when watching videos. You are covering the speakers. Like, I'm very disappointed with them in that. But hopefully they get their act together and they put it in the front. Like, that'll be the right thing to do. James D, have a good night. Have to go. Gotta check editing software. If you could get back to me with a link, it'd be great. James. Oh, James Dye, right? Yeah. Thanks, brother. It's like, seriously. I totally forgot. I forgot that you're here. Sorry. Yeah, seriously, good night, dude. Take care. I'm gonna be done here. Technically my live stream event is over, but I'll do a few more questions for you guys before logging off here. So next question: what do you want in the consumer version of the Gear VR? It's not actually what I want from this. It's what I want from this, because this is the brains of the child. Like right now, you won't be able to get motion tracking and laser tracking, but I just want efficient gameplay. So I want a God phone that can handle any app efficiently and 4K resolution, and that'll make the Gear VR experience perfect. Done. That's all I need from it. Lonely boy, you want to get more subs? ? You need to collaborate with MKHD. He's huge on HD. What? Wait. Oh, not that guy. MKHD. Oh, are you talking about Marcus Brown or someone else? But yeah, I definitely recognize that I definitely need to collaborate more. I definitely know that. For me, like, I want to approach these people when, like, for me, I want to hit 10,000 subscribers first before I try to start approaching people with like collaborative ideas and stuff. Like, but I'll be doing more of that in the future. M8D1, what times do you make the podcast? I enjoy it. So every other Friday. So my first podcast was on a Sunday because I was away, but starting like today, it's my second episode. So you can expect my next live podcast, not next Friday, but the Friday after that. So on, let's see, May 8th. May 8th will be my next podcast. But if these are popular enough, so I see that more people are joining in, and people are commenting and downloading my, watching my podcast more, I will try to do them on a weekly basis. But for time purposes, every other Friday, wow, sorry, my voice is going. Every other Friday, I will commit to doing it. So today I started a little late because I came home late, but from 9 to 11, I will do a 2-hour live podcast. And this is the time I want to give you guys, so you guys can do, like, you guys can ask me questions here and there, hear what I have to say, and just have a good time. You enjoy chatting here, thanks. Leonard Holly, I like the speaker for the Note 3. Yeah, the Note 3 has a pretty decent speaker. Oh yeah, Marcus Brown, yeah, dude, Marky Brown, dude. If I can get in touch with that boy, damn, yeah, represent. But he's too big. He's way too big. My message would probably never reach him, so I'm gonna wait until I get a little bigger. Robert Smith, have a good night, sir. Thank you. Yeah, Marky Brown, Flossie, man. Those two cats, man. I love those. I love them. They're kind of some of the inspirations for some of my videos. You should post your next podcast date on your Facebook so we won't forget. Yeah, it's gonna be, once again, I'm working on my websites and social media. It's on my YouTube About page now. It's gonna be on my Facebook, and it's now gonna be on my website too. Trust me, I have so many things I need to do. Like, I just gotta hack them away at one at a time. But I definitely will do that. And then TRG1408, what would be the ultimate phone for you, design and spec wise? Oh, and good night, everyone. So this is gonna be the last question I'm gonna end with. And what my ultimate phone? 5.6 or 7-inch screen, 8K resolution, octa core, 4 gigahertz, DDR4 for, I forget which is the best DDR memory, but the best RAM possible. But 8 gigs of RAM, 120 gigabytes of internal storage, because that's plenty enough for me in my opinion. Good battery life, and screen and everything. But most importantly, it just needs to be designed well. The ultimate phone it can exist tomorrow, but it'll always get trumped the next year and stuff. But for me, it just needs to have a sexy design, have good peripherals, and good functionality. That's pretty much my main thing. But that's where I'll end it, guys. Good podcast. Thanks. Wow, I'm actually sweating because talking for 2 hours straight. But for you guys, thank you. For everyone who is in the live chat right now, thanks for joining in. For those of you guys watching it after the fact that I've recorded it, or you're listening to it on an audio device, thank you for listening. I apologize if this was chaotic once again. Like, I'm still working out the kinks, but hopefully in my future podcasts, I'll get more and more efficient with it. But once again, guys, thanks for tuning in. I hope you guys all enjoyed it. And I'll see you guys in the next podcast, which will be on May 8th at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, United States time. So with that, have a good night, guys. Take care. Hopefully I'll see you guys in the next podcast. Bye-bye. All right, let me just go ahead and stop here. Oh, my voice.